Hi, everybody. I'm Mark Dunn and Director of Public Policy for the National Association of Addiction Treatment Providers. I'm here today with Pam Rodriguez. Pam is on NAATP's Board of Directors. She's also chair of the Public Policy Committee, and since 2009 has been the president and CEO of an organization called TASC. So welcome, Pam. Perhaps you could tell us what is TASC and what do you do?
I'm happy to do that, Mark. TASC stands for Treatment Alternatives for Safe Communities. We are headquartered in Chicago, Illinois, and for more than 45 years, we have been primarily the independent case management bridge between justice systems and the community treatment system. So we have provided assessments and advocacy and linkage within courts, corrections, child welfare for people who have substance use disorders. And our goal is to get them out of those systems and into treatment in the community and into recovery. And we support them throughout their journey through treatment. For about the last 6 or 7 years, we have added outpatient and intensive outpatient substance use treatment to that mix, which is how we actually came in contact with NAATP.
That's great. Obviously, that's a big job. And I would note for our viewers that Pam in 2014 was honored by the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy for her leadership. So we're very fortunate to have Pam involved with NAATP. And Pam, I know someone in your position has many opportunities to participate with all sorts of groups. Why did you choose NAATP to spend your time and considerable talent?
TASC has been attracted to NAATP for many years. We've had a number of connections to many of the really high quality treatment programs that are members of NAATP. And so when we started doing our substance use treatment, this seemed like the go-to national organization for us. So you have members from Hazelden and local members here in Illinois, Rosecrans and Gateway, all of whom are highly regarded in the field nationally. And so we were very excited to be a part of a group that included them. We were looking forward to learning from all of you and also really hoping that we could represent perhaps a slightly different kind of treatment provider as well. We are a nonprofit that works in the justice system. And so the vast majority of our population is indigent, and our services are only outpatient and intensive outpatient. So it felt like it was a kind of a win-win in the sense that we brought a slightly different voice and perspective to NAATP's table and hopefully could participate and influence folks with regard to that the needs of that population, but then also really learn from the partners at the table who are providing and have provided such great treatment for so many years.
Great. As chair of the Public Policy Committee, perhaps it would be helpful to explain to our viewers what is the role of the Public Policy Committee in your view?
So I'm biased. I think it is a really cool. I think it's really exciting. Hats off to you, Mark, for your leadership and representation of us in Washington. The public policy and advocacy have always been really important to me and to TASC. So much of our work and the needs of our clients are impacted by public policy. And so in addition to providing individual services and individual care, public policy enables us to impact systems much more broadly in ways that help our organizations, help the field, and help our clients. And so the NAATP Public Policy Committee is focused largely on federal policy, and we spend a lot of time dealing with regulations, dealing with reimbursement. Obviously, COVID has been front and center for the last couple of months, but telehealth, confidentiality, all of those things, all of those policy things and regulations that impact our field nationwide is what we as a public policy committee focus on, and what we ask you to represent in Washington with regard to the needs of our organizations in our field.
NAATP has several focuses: research, quality assurance, and certainly our presence in Washington, D.C. How do you feel that's important to NAATP members?
We recently had a Hill Day at one of our conferences, and it was organized beautifully by a team of folks, but I really have to give you credit, Mark, and give Sherry Layton credit from Texas. The two of you really organized us as a group to all march over to Capitol Hill with a unified message about our quality assurance initiatives and about our organization generally being there as a resource to Congress when it comes to issues impacting addiction. So it was really rewarding for members. We had over 100 members. I think it was more like 140 members, all over Capitol Hill, talking to senators and representatives from states all across the country. And hopefully we were there enabling you to then follow up and have the strength of our support behind you in order to clarify to policymakers that we are a force to be reckoned with, right? That we have not just a position, but we have provider organizations all across the country. We serve hundreds of thousands of clients in a year as an organization made up of treatment providers nationwide. And so we are a force in DC to be reckoned with and to be invited to the table for important and critical conversations. So I think our presence in DC is essential. You have to be at the table in order to participate in the conversation, and you're there for us to do that. And I think that's when we can go with you, or when we can organize groups of folks to go with you, I think it's just all the more impactful.
I have to say that Hill Day was very successful, but it was a team of NAATP staff members and Sherry Layton, and everyone did a wonderful job. And the results, I have to say, were pretty incredible. I had many responses from both members and their staff on the Hill as a result of that Hill Day. So very successful from my standpoint, and I think for the field.
One of the things that you emphasized with us, and that we, some of us could really appreciate, staff in those conversations, Hill staff are really important. And so building relationships, not just with members, but with their staff, really helps us have access and influence and shape policy to the benefit of our field and the clients that we serve. So it was a really good day, and so many people contributed. It was a really warm day, as I recall, but it was very successful, and I'm really, really glad we did it, and I hope we can do it again.
Yeah, so do I. NAATP is, I think, the only organization in our field with a political action committee. So we have the ability to contribute to members of Congress who are supportive on our issues. Do you have any thoughts on why that's important and why we should continue?
Our support of legislators is through the PAC is really a demonstration of our investment in the work that they do, our investment in ourselves and in our field, and it matters. It's a thank you for support. It is a recognition of the level of effort that members put in with regard to our issues, and it's a legitimate and influential way for organizations to be seen and heard. We can't be everywhere all the time, and this is just another way to leverage whatever influence that we might have. And I encourage people to contribute to the PAC. Can you tell us how to do that, Mark, if we wanted to do that?
Absolutely. We would be delighted to have every listener go to our website, and under public policy, you can find the NAATP PAC, and it will direct you on how to make a contribution. And we encourage everyone to do that. So lastly, Pam, as Director of Public Policy and you as the Chair of the committee, I just want to say thank you so much for your time and your leadership and your support. I think that we've got a great team, and we really appreciate people like you who take time out of their busy schedules to contribute to the field. And so we really appreciate all you do.
Thank you, Mark. We're only as good as our membership, and we're only as good as how involved folks become. And so I would just ask that anyone who's interested become involved in public policy. We are welcoming to members for their participation in the committee. And additionally, we're going to be doing some additional kinds of partnerships between NAATP and state level members with regard to advocacy, et cetera. So there will be a variety of ways that people can get involved in public policy at the federal level or the state level. And it's really important for the field and for the clients and patients that we serve that we work together to influence the policies that either help or hinder our work, and the reimbursement that helps or hinders our work. And so the more engagement and the more involvement we have from members, the stronger and the better we will all be. And Mark, I want to thank you for your leadership and your constant presence representing us in Washington. It's critically important, and we really appreciate your presence there. Thank you.
Thank you.